Jai Hind. Today I am here to discuss a very important topic of cloud computing. The code of this subject is KCS 713 and myself Dr. Santosh Kumar Upadhyay, Associate Professor in CSC Department, AKGEC Ghaziabad. So this topic is the cloud security. That is a very important topic, and this belongs to the unit 4 of the AKTU syllabus. Cloud security, because we know that cloud is more susceptible to the security concern because this use the public internet, a public network where anybody can easily impose the attacks to a target system. So that's why this is very important, and this is a challenge and the research challenge basically for the many of the researchers to work in this domain to build up the different model, pattern, architecture, so that security can be ensured in the system. So as we know that when we talk about the security, then certainly we have a term CIA in our mind. CIA. Okay. Whenever we talk about the security, that may belong to any like information security, data security, computer security, cyber security. So when we talk about the security, that means indirectly we are talking about the CIA. What is the CIA? C means confidentiality. And I for integrity. Okay, integrity. And A is availability. So these three terms are very important in the field of computer security. So similarly here in cloud security also, these three terms are very basic building blocks, okay, for the security. C for confidentiality, I for integrity, and A for availability. Okay. So what does it mean? What is it mean of the confidentiality? What is the integrity? What is the availability? Confidentiality means this is the term which ensures that your data and information is confidential. This is the assurance that your data or information is not used by any illegal user, unauthenticated user, cannot use the information, cannot leak, cannot steal the information or data, okay, without the permission of legitimate user. If you ensure this thing, this is known as the confidentiality. Okay. Sometimes it is also known as the privacy also. That means you want to keep the private. You want to ensure the privacy of the data and information. So this is the basic building blocks of the security. When we talk about this system is secure, that means that is confidential. Okay, that means illegal user cannot use the system, cannot use the information without their permission. And other second term is, so first one is the confidentiality and second term is the integrity. Okay, integrity. What is the integrity? Integrity means this is the process by which you ensure that your data or information does not change. That means you are accessing the information, you are using the information or data. What is actual? What is original? Okay. So basically integrity ensures the originality of the data and information. Okay. Like in the communication system, when we talk about the data is integrity ensured, what does it mean? It means the data which are sent by the sender, the same data, actual data is received by the receiver. That means there is no modification between the during the communication. There is no updation of the data. There is no, modification of the data during the communication, during the exchange of the data. So this is the integrity. Integrity means insurance of originality of the data. So when we talk about the security, so first of all, we have to ensure that the data is confidential, information is confidential. What the information we are using from the cloud, the same information that is provided by the provider, the same information is received by used by the user. There is nothing changed during the communication. That means there is no attacker that inject some additional information, some fake information, that does not attach some wrong information with the original information. So this is the process of integrity. And the third one is the very important. This is the availability. This is the third one aspect of the security. Availability, that means whenever you want to use the resources, whenever that resources may be CPU, that resources may be any hardware like CPU, modem, some network facilities, or that may be any software kind of things, or that may be some operating systems, whatever you want to use from the cloud. So whenever you want to use that resource, that should be readily available to you. That means there is no lock-in. Whenever you require, you can use. If this is ensured, that means availability is ensured. So these are the three basic and very important building block of security. Confidentiality, that means whatever you store on the cloud, that data is confidential. Nobody, no other person can use the data. Other person can use the data, see the data. Other is the integrity. That means whatever you are accessing from the cloud, that is integrate. That means nothing changes there. The original data you are accessing, original software you are accessing, there is no modification. Availability, that means whenever you required an server, virtual machine, that is readily available to you for the use. Whenever you required some Google Drive or some cloud storage, that is readily available to you for the use. When you require some application software like Google Meet, that is readily available for you, or you want to use some mailing services, that is readily available to you. So that means availability is ensured. So these are the three basic building blocks of the security: CIA, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. What does it mean? This is the basic building block. Means whenever any attacker want to attack your system, that means they will target any one of these three, or any two of these three, or they may target all threes. So whenever we talk about there is attack, that means some violation is there in these security paradigms. Like someone stealing the information, someone use illegal access in our system. That means they may stolen the login ID and password. That means confidentiality is breached. Confidentiality is compromised. Whenever there is some man in middle attack, that means during the communication, some third party attacker inject their data, inject some fake information during the transmission of any data or packet. That means this is integrity is violated. And similarly in the availability, you have heard the name of DOS attack, DDoS attack. Denial of service attack. That is very important attack, and I think everybody heard this name. DOS attack, sometimes DDoS. This is the variety of DOS. distributed DOS. This is the attack. This attack target which parameter of these three? The DOS attack target basically availability. Okay, that means when this attack is successfully launched, that means that make unreachable to any server, to any storage, to any resource. Okay, so that is the target to the availability, like ransomware attack. Okay, that means they are locking your resources and asking some money. When you give the money, they release your system. You can use. So there are a number of attacks who target the availability of the resources. What is DOS? DOS is basically denial of service attack. Okay, denial of service attack. Denial of service attack. Denial of, as the name suggests, whenever you require any service, cloud service, okay, like you want to use the virtual machine, you want to use some storage, or in fact you want to use your own data that are stored on the cloud. So that is whenever you want to use at that time, that is not reachable by you, that is not available to you due to this denial of service attack. So in denial of service attack, there are a number of ways like flooding, SYN flooding, in this attacker send many packet to the server, okay, and just want to make the connection to the, you just want to establish the connection to the server, okay. So attacker send the many different packet and that create the flood of the packets in the network to that particular server. So what happened by using this? By using this, by doing this, the server is so loaded, so busy that during that time that cannot handle the legitimate or genuine request, because that is busy without business, you can say. Number of SYN packets or the connection establishment request packet is going to that particular server. There is the flood of the packets that cannot manage the data actually, that are busy to, you know, managing that data that are coming. So when doing this, managing these requests, that is not in the mode to grant the genuine request from some legitimate user. That means that flooding of the information, flooding of the packet make that particular server unreachable or in denial mode. So this is known as the denial of service attack. Okay, means unnecessary number of packets or you know, connection establishment packet, a request to make the connection like SYN flood. These packets are going to the particular server and that cannot manage basically due to the flood of these packets. So these are the three basic paradigms that are used in any security and just in cloud security also. That is the CIA. That is very important. Confidentiality, integrity and availability. CIA. Okay. So when we talk about the computer means cloud security, so this is the CIA, that is the basic paradigm for the security that you have to ensure. And along with this CIA, there are the number of other parameters also that you have to take care when we talk about the cloud security. Like with CIA, authentication, authorization, non-repudiation, okay, authentication, authorization non-repudiations. Okay. And there is one more factor, that is the VM security also. VM security. VM means virtual machine security. Okay. So along with the CIA, that is a very important. There are some other factor, other parameter also that you have to ensure. That you have to ensure. What are that? Authentication. Whenever you ensure the cloud security, you have to take care about the authentication. You have to take care about the authorization. You have to take care about the non-repudiation. Similarly with the VM security. Let us see what are these means parameters. What is the authentication? What is the authentication? Authentication means what? When you see that, you can say that when you say that this is the authenticate user. Okay. So what does it mean? Authentication. Authentication means ensuring the identity against the claimed identity. Okay. That means whenever I say that myself Dr. Santosh Upadhyay, and you are able to ensure that yes, he is Santosh Upadhyay, his identity is ensured. That means what I claim, you ensure that with some process. That means this is the authentication. You authenticate me. For example, when you are going to use any cloud system, there is a login and password. Okay. So whenever you provide the login, again you write some password, then your system is open. So system basically what does? System basically authenticate you that you are legitimate user. You can use the system. You can enter in the system. Okay. Similarly, in real world problem, like each and every student should be, in examination should be admit card, or each and every student should be I card whenever they enter in the college campus. What is the purpose of this I card? What is the purpose of this admit card in the examination hall? So basically this is also a process of authentication. That means whenever a student is writing some paper in the examination hall, how you authenticate? You ask for the admit card, match the photo and signature. If okay, that means this particular examinee is authenticated. That is legitimate. Okay. So this is the authentication. That is also very important in the cloud computing. Okay. So that by using the authentication, you ensure that a legitimate user can use the system, can access the system. Illegal user cannot use the system. Okay. This is the authentication. I think you got this point. Now we come at the authorization. This is a very similar term. Many times student got confusion between the authentication and authorization. So there is a slight difference between these two. Authentication is the first step that authenticate that you are the part of this system. Okay. But in that system, what type of functionalities, what type of services you can use, that is ensured by the authorization. Once more, I want to clarify this difference. Authentication means this is the process of ensuring the identity of any person. That means that person is part of the system. Like, for example, any particular means a student is coming in the college by the gate, and the guard check the I card. That means that is if that is verified, that means that particular student is part of this college that can enter in the college campus. But tell me just one question, that when you allow that student to enter in the college campus, can you also allow that student can sit any class? That can sit in any class, or that can read or study in any department? Are you allowed? No, at all. You only ensure that this is the part of the system. This is part of this college. Again, this is the process of authorization, that in which college, in which class that can sit. If that is a student of CSC 1, third year, So that can only sit in the CSC 1 third year. This is the authorization. Okay. Again, authorization means whenever you enter in the system, authorization decide which type of functionalities, which type of data, which type of file information that particular user can use. Okay, the authentication is the first requirement to enter in the system, and authorization is the next requirement, which type of resources, which type of files you can use. Like in the case of operating system, okay, there is the root user. Okay, kernel means user that have the more privileges, and there are some general user that have the least privileges. So as you know that a general user cannot use all the files, that cannot access the this operating system file or root secure files. So this authorization process decide which type of file you can use when you enter in the system. Authentication ensure the identity, and authorization ensure the which type of facility, which type of services, which type of files, data, information can be used that particular authenticated user. I think now this is clear. Let us see the authentication and authorization application for enterprise environments may need to be changed to work with a safe cloud environment. So a solution with de facto standards of open authorization is the use in which there is a trust party auditor which maintain all the credential, and cloud provider can uniquely distinguish one user from other. This is the authentication. It verify user authenticity using two-step verification, which is based on the password, smart card, and out of band strong two-factor authentication. Like nowadays in the Google, okay, there are the two-factor verification and authentication. Once you are using your login and password, again that sends some code to your mobile system, and when you enter that code, or you authenticate this, yes, I am this, then that will be open for you. So that is talking about the two-step authentication. In addition, the scheme also provides mutual authentication, identity management, session key establishment, user privacy and security against many popular attacks. So next is the availability. I have already told you that that come in the CIA pattern. CIA. Okay. So availability is also already ensured, and there is a term of non-repudiation. We come at the first slide. Non-repudiation. Non-repudiation. Non-repudiation means deny. That means when we commit the mistake and later on we deny that I am not there. Okay. That means we are sending some illegal message user, and later on we deny that I am not. On the behalf of my some fake user have sent the message. So non-repudiation means this process of in which a sender cannot deny later on. If you ensure this is the known as non-repudiation. Okay, and this VM security and other part we will discuss in the next. That is the SaaS security. Okay, thank you. Thanks all.